January 3rd meeting minutes.
Aye.
I'm anticipating your question.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for your anticipation. Okay. Good evening, welcome to the January 18th Clifton Park Town Board meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Teresa, if you call the roll.
Councilwoman Flood? Here. Councilwoman Stanford? Here. Councilman Morelli?
Here.
Councilwoman Wallowitz? Here. Supervisor Barrett?
Here, entertain a motion to approve town board meeting minutes of July 3rd.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Ms. Wallowitz, second by Mr. Morelli. Discussion.
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stanford?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz? Yes. Supervisor Barrett?
Yes, communications and announcements. Just want to let everybody know that the nonprofit grant application is online and live. So please go to cliftonpark.org, and I think it'll be a wonderful program and a way to support our nonprofits that have been negatively affected by the pandemic. I also want to announce that this evening the county program, which is very similar to ours, was approved today by the Board of Supervisors. So we'll be conducting a process at the county as well to help nonprofits throughout Saratoga County. That program will have $2 million available, with a maximum grant award of $50,000. So looking forward to that program as well. So that's 2.2 million for nonprofits that have been negatively affected by the COVID pandemic. And we need our nonprofits to be strong and working in our communities. Any other communications or announcements?
Yes, I have an announcement. The Town of Clifton Park Youth Court is resuming its training sessions. Tomorrow is the first one of the 2022 season. The last time Youth Court was in session was March 11th, 2020. So it's been a long time, and we're really looking forward to getting back into action. And I want to thank Councilman Morelli for helping to schedule our training sessions. They will be hybrid situation. Tomorrow will be at the Public Safety Building with Judge Rybeck and Judge Hughes. And Zoom is also an option for anyone who cannot attend in person. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at the Public Safety Building. And the schedule will be up on the website as well as the Youth Court Facebook page. Thank you.
Very good. Anyone else? Okay. We do have several resolutions on the agenda this evening. Teresa, if you could read through those, please.
Excuse me, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a grant contract for a project to construct a sidewalk to provide pedestrian access on the north side of State Route 146 to connect the Tallowood neighborhood with the town center. Whereas by resolution number 202 of 2017, the town board authorized the planning department to begin a grant application process to seek funding assistance for a sidewalk project on the northern side of Route 146 in the town center area. And whereas the town has been advised that the project has been awarded grant funding under the New York State DEC Climate Smart Communities Program, in the amount of $220,000. And whereas the project will require a 50% local match, as well as first instance funding by the town in the amount of $440,000. And whereas the project will provide pedestrian access to the town center area from the North Crest, Robinwood, and Tallowood neighborhoods, as well as connections to existing multi-use trail networks within the town. And whereas the town board supports the project and wishes to commit to local funding in order to proceed. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign the attached master grant contract for the Clifton Park Route 146 sidewalk project, and be it further resolved that the town board commits to funding in the first instance of up to $440,000 to plan, design, and construct the project, as well as the local match commitment of $220,000. A resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a grant contract for a project to construct a multi-use path along Hubbs Road, whereas the town has been awarded grant funding for a multi-use trail along the south side of Hubbs Road to connect the Dutch Meadows and Country Knolls neighborhoods with Jonesville, including pedestrian access and high visibility crossing signs under the New York State DEC Climate Smart Communities Program in the amount of $278,271. And whereas the project will require a 50% local match as well as first instance funding by the town in the amount of $556,542. Whereas the project will provide pedestrian access to the hamlet of Jonesville from Dutch Meadows and Country Knolls neighborhoods, as well as pedestrian and non-motorized access to Hatley, Main Street, and McElroy roads, and connections to existing multi-use trail networks within the town. And whereas the town board supports the project and wishes to commit to local funding in order to proceed. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign the attached master grant contract for the Hubbs Road multi-use path. And be it further resolved that the town board commits to funding in the first instance of up to $556,542 to plan, design, and construct the project, as well as the local match commitment of $278,271. A resolution appointing a new member to the Emergency Services Advisory Board, whereas an opening exists for a representative from the Clifton Park and Half Moon Emergency Corps to the Emergency Services Advisory Board. And whereas this Clifton Park and Half Moon Emergency Corps recommends Mark Freiberger, 4 Battery Boulevard, Mechanicsville, New York, to fill the position of member Patrick Warrant, representing the Clifton Park Half Moon Ambulance. Now therefore be it resolved that Mark Freiberger is hereby appointed as representative for the Clifton Park and Half Moon Emergency Corps to the Emergency Services Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2024. A resolution appointing Michael Warner as an MEO light in the Department of Buildings and Grounds, whereas an opening exists for an MEO light position within the Department of Buildings and Grounds, and whereas the position is unclassified, and whereas Daniel Clemens, Director of Buildings, Parks and Recreation, has interviewed Michael Warner and has asked for authorization to retain Mr. Warner as a MEO light to fill the position, and whereas Mr. Warner has the background, education, training, and experience necessary for the position. Now therefore be it resolved that Michael Warner, 33 Pinehurst Drive, Clifton Park, New York, is hereby appointed as MEO light to be compensated at a grade 4, step 1, $22.11 an hour, and be it further resolved that the comptroller is authorized to transfer $41,246 from Buildings and Grounds laborer to transfer $2,454 from General Fund Transfer Station overtime to General Fund Transfer Station employee to the fund to fund the position. A resolution authorizing the promotion of Jacob Palmetier and Todd Kirschoffer, currently employed in the Department of Buildings and Grounds, whereas Director of Buildings, Parks and Recreation Daniel Clemens has recommended that Jacob Palmetier, employed as a laborer in the Buildings and Grounds Department for 2 years, be promoted from laborer at grade 3, step 2 to motor equipment operator light, grade 4, step 1. And whereas Mr. Clemens also recommends the advancement of Todd Kirschoffer, who has been employed since 2002 from motor equipment operator at grade 5, step 7 to senior motor equipment operator, grade 6, step 6 at the convenience transfer station. Now therefore be it resolved that Jacob Palmetier is hereby promoted to motor equipment operator light to grade 4, step 1, $22.11 an hour, effective immediately, and be it further resolved that Todd Kirschoffer is hereby promoted to senior motor equipment operator to grade 6, step 6, $30.48 an hour, effective immediately. And be it further resolved that the comptroller is authorized to transfer $4,127 from general fund buildings and grounds overtime to general fund buildings and grounds J. Palmetier, and be it further resolved the comptroller is authorized to transfer $3,108 from general fund transfer station overtime to the general fund transfer station T. Kirchhoffer. A resolution authorizing Anil Bish to serve alcoholic beverages at a gathering to be held at the Clifton Park Senior Community Center on March 19, 2022. Whereas Anil Bish, 613 Clifton Park Center Road, Clifton Park, is hosting a gathering on March 19, 2022 from 6 to 11 p.m. And whereas Anil Bish has requested permission to serve alcohol in the form of beer and wine at the event. Now therefore be it resolved that Anil Bish is hereby authorized to serve beer and wine at a gathering at the Clifton Park Senior Community Center on March 19, 2022 from 6 to 11 p.m. A resolution authorizing the highway superintendent to sign an agreement with Spectrum Environmental Associates Incorporated for asbestos inspection services relative to the demolition of the White Building. Whereas by resolution number 20 of 2022, the town board found that it is not economic to repair the fire-damaged White Building, and that in the best interest of the town to demolish and replace it. And whereas the town wishes to determine if there is any asbestos in the structure prior to its demolition. And whereas Highway Superintendent Dan Bull has received a quote for an amount not to exceed $1,790 for asbestos inspection services from Spectrum Environmental Associates Incorporated, pursuant to its Albany County contract number 6490 of 2021. And whereas town procurement policy number 9 allows piggyback contracts pursuant to GML 1033, now therefore be it resolved that the comptroller is authorized to create a new capital projects fund H62 White Building Reconstruction Project, and be it further resolved that the town board authorizes the superintendent of highways Dan Bull to accept a quote for asbestos inspection services of the White Building from Spectrum Environmental Associates Incorporated for an amount not to exceed $1,790 to be paid from capital projects White Building Garage, other contractual.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. Any questions on the resolutions? Okay, Teresa, if you read the headings, please, we'll consider each one individually.
Resolution number 22 of 2022, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a grant contract for a project to construct a sidewalk to provide pedestrian access on the north side of State Route 146 to connect the Tallerwood neighborhood with the town center. So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mrs. Flood. We have two projects on the agenda today. John's not here. He's filling in for another meeting tonight, but I want to thank the planning department for continuing to work to move these projects forward. And two examples of our growing trail system and projects that we have in the queue at different stages of completion. So, two on the agenda tonight. Any discussion?
Is there a timeline?
There's no official timeline. There is a date as to when the contracts need to be satisfied, which is well, at least a year from now. But, yeah. Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz? Yes. Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 23 of 2022, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a grant contract for a project to construct a multi-use path along Cubs Road.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Morelli, second by Mrs. Flood, and just describe this briefly as well. Discussion. Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 24 of 2022, a resolution appointing a new member to the Emergency Services Advisory Board.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Ms. Wallowitz, second by Mr. Morelli. Discussion. Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett.
Yes.
Resolution number 25 of 2022, a resolution appointing Michael Warner as a MEO Light in the Department of Buildings and Grounds.
So moved. Second.
By Mrs. Standard, second by Mrs. Flood. Dan?
Yeah, with the lateral transfer of Vinnie over here, made an opening down at the transfer station. We interviewed 4 people for this position, and Mr. Warner stood out in a couple of different ways. He has a Class B CDL, which is very important down at the transfer station for our Mack roll-off truck to drive that, move around. Also, he's got experience in operating heavy equipment, which is another thing that we do every single day down there. And just his background and his demeanor when we met him in the interview was very impressive. He's very professional, squared away type of individual. And I think he's going to fit in really well down there and be a little something extra that's not there right now. That's going to all be a very positive experience for residents when they come in with their recycling, their garbage, and their C&D and what have you, their leaves and everything. So really looking forward to having him join in with us down there and moving forward.
Very good. Any questions for Dan? Discussion. Okay.
Councilwoman Flood.
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard.
Yes.
Councilman Morelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz.
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett.
Yes.
Resolution number 26 of 2022, a resolution authorizing the promotion of Jacob Palmetier and Todd Kirschoffer, currently employed in the Department of Buildings and Grounds.
So moved. Second.
By Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallowitz. Tell us about Jacob and Todd. Both have been doing a great job and are eligible for promotion.
Yes, sir. So I'll start with Jacob. This is, like you said, it's kind of like an ordinary progression, but Jacob is far from an ordinary employee. He's a young man who's very ambitious, got a load of skill. Anything you ask him to do, he does it and does it well. You teach him stuff, he learns really quick. He's shown that he can operate all of our equipment as a laborer. He stepped up and learned how to do his stuff, and he's really got a lot of skill in that. And he's still got a lot of skill with a shovel, which is pretty important too. So he's more than earned this promotion. And as far as Todd goes, Todd's a 20-year employee. So normally about this time is when we're looking at the senior position. And Todd has also stepped up. And since I took over at the transfer station, I placed Todd with much more responsibility for when Donnie's out. Todd has kind of run the show down there, done the cash outs, managed the day-to-day stuff down there, and he's really stepped up to the plate and done a good job. He's also gone out in his own time and out of his own pocket and got his CDL permit because he thinks that'll help in his getting the job done down there also. And his road test should be happening here in the next week or two. I believe he has it scheduled, but he's doing very well with that. So he's more than deserves this promotion after such a long time of good service for the town.
Very good. Any questions for Dan? All right. Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood.
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard.
Yes.
Councilman Morelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz.
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett.
Yes.
Resolution number 27 of 2022, a resolution authorizing Anil Bish to serve alcoholic beverages at a gathering to be held at the Clifton Park Senior Community Center on March 19, 2022.
Second.
By Mr. Morelli, second by Ms. Wallowitz. Self-explanatory. March 19th will be the event. Discussion.
Councilwoman Flood? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett.
Yes.
Resolution number 28 of 2022, a resolution authorizing the highway superintendent to sign an agreement with Spectrum Environmental Associates Incorporated for asbestos inspection services relative to the demolition of the White Building.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Flood, second by Mrs. Standard. It's important with any demolition of a structure that asbestos is identified. Hopefully there isn't any, but there very well might be.
Well, the good news is they did a quick walkthrough already just to actually give us the quote, and they had trouble finding things that they could actually test for asbestos. So we're still going to take it on the safe side and have them test it. They do all their testing in-house, and excuse me. I think it'll be fine. The good news is that after asbestos is done, we can start the demolition process. We were meeting with Amy and some other members of the highway team, And we reached out to some local fire departments. Jonesville, once we get a letter saying that asbestos is not present, they're going to work with us on doing some training in the building before it comes down. So before she comes down, we're going to make sure she gets some good use by our local volunteer firefighters. And then when that point comes, we'll bring the resolution to you.
Very good. Asbestos, if it is found, needs to be separated and handled differently. It is quite expensive. So hopefully, if there is any found, that it is limited.
Indeed.
Discussion.
So does this company do remediation if needed?
No, they do not do the remediation. They do the testing only. We'd have to go out to bid for the actual testing. Once they give us a list of what they found as being positive, then we can take that list and say, hey, look, we have X amount of square feet. This is what it's possibly in. Can you give us a quote for taking it all out?
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions, discussion? Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowa?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other business to come before the board this evening? Okay, swallow it.
Oh, wait a minute. I have something.
Oh,
Sorry, did you have something you wanted to say? I have something that needs to be read during public comment.
oh, yeah, go ahead. Sure. I didn't see anybody here, so.
Yeah, Anton Saliper had sent me an email, and he would like this read tonight. He said, I made the town aware of the need for such a sidewalk many years before a petition was submitted to the town board in 2014. Because of the pedestrian safety needs, the petition requested completion in the 2015. I would have been thrilled and very appreciative if that was accomplished then, or maybe even more realistically in another year or two. I never imagined it would take another 8 years. I don't believe it should have taken so long to get to this point, but hey, that's all in the past. Let's move forward as expediently as possible and get the sidewalk and crosswalks completed before the end of the year. Again, thank you so much to the town board. Anton Saliper.
Well, there's no doubt that these projects do take much longer than we would hope, but that is the nature of the beast, and receiving grant funds is terrific, but there is can be a long process to get to the point of construction. But yeah, so I know our planning department's been moving the project along, and we're in a good spot now. All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Mr. Morelli.
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowa? Supervisor Barrett?
Yes, thank you.